this video, we're gonna find out how you can find your life purpose so that you live a life that you're truly fulfilled and happy. You don't want to miss this out. Hey guys, this is Julian right here. So excited you're able to join me in this episode because this episode is going to be the most important episode that you watch in your life. Why? Because it's about finding your life purpose. It's about having that clarity so that you don't feel like you are drifting out in the ocean, not knowing where you're going without having any direction. So this video came about because I was talking to my brother about his studies. Well, you can see he is just 19, just fresh out of his diploma, and he's trying to find out what to do for his degree. And he realized that he doesn't really know what he's good at and what his purpose is and all these things that many young people didn't know. Well, I can certainly relate because I have also been in that position as well. I was a young person, I still am a young person, and when I was in my early 20s, I would spend my days playing computer games day in and day out, and I just lived the life of someone that is, going with the flow, that just didn't know what to do, and I was wasting my life away. It was not until I was attending a course when I was 25 years old, and it took me until I was 25. So those of you who are still under 25, it's not too late for you, right? And the reason why I'm doing this video is so that I'm able to help you. So back to my story, it wasn't until I was 25 working my day job 9 to 5 in a software company that I realized that there's gotta be more to life than this. And I want to tell you that life doesn't have to be this way, and it can be amazing if only you want it to be. So the only thing is this: many people don't take the time to sit down and figure things out. That's the reason why most people fail. Why is that so? It's because we are so distracted with the many things in our lives. We have social media, we have TV, we have messages coming in and out, we have homework to do, we have our parents telling us this, our friends telling us there's so many things to do that it doesn't give us any time to put into ourselves, to invest into ourselves, to find out what our true purpose is. It can also be due to the unawareness that we can actually live life on our own terms due to the conditioning of how we were brought up as kids. Well, don't blame your parents for it, because it is only in their best interest that they share and impart the knowledge that they did. Some of us, when we were much younger, we had dreams. We wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, an astronaut, or a painter. But those dreams faded away when we grew up. Some of you may say that we got wiser, but truth be told, those dreams vanished away because of the environment that came in and stopped us. If you were a painter, people would tell you, hey, if you're painting, you can't pay the bills with that. And if you were wanting to be a lawyer and you have graduated school a long time ago, being in the workforce, you would tell yourself that, hey, you're too old to study. And if you've always wanted to do business, but you didn't dare to do it, you would probably tell yourself, hey, what happens if I fail? And people will constantly tell you stuff like, hey, what happens if people don't like you? What happens if you lose all the money that you've been saving? Because of that, we started getting fearful. Well, know this, those are just those inner voices that are going through in your head, those self-doubts. And I want you to do this. I want you to catch yourself every time you hear those negative self-doubts, because those are the ones that are stopping you from achieving your full potential. What I want you to do is this: whenever you hear those self-doubts in your head, just tell yourself, thank you for sharing. And just flick it off your shoulder. Just think of it like a little demon that's here. Just flick it off and move on. Talking about self-doubt, I wanted to share with you how I met the world's oldest Prime Minister, but I will do that in another video. Probably put in the link somewhere up here. So, why are we talking about this? So for my brother, he chose computer science because it was a subject that he was just okay in it. He didn't actually hate the subject. but it also wasn't something that he was truly passionate in. I believe that most of you are able to relate to this. Maybe you are in a career transition right now and you don't know what to do for your future. You don't really hate something, but you also don't know what you're actually good at. Or maybe you are just like my brother, just finished school or finished college and you want to look for a job and you don't want to be doing a job that you actually hate, or neither do you want to look for a job that you're actually just okay. You want to do a job that you are truly passionate, something that you really enjoy. Well, most of us are not able to find that, and it has caused us a lot of confusion. Think of it like a GPS that has lost its signal. Without the GPS, most of us will be walking around in circles and not knowing where to go. Because clarity is power, and if you don't have that clarity, you will always be walking around in circles, and in the end causing what I call a loss in time and also money. Well, think about it. You may be studying a course that you don't actually like, and you having to switch that course, you would have wasted a ton of money. Or if you're working in a job that you didn't actually like either, or you're just okay, you would have lost a ton of time. And time is something very precious. You don't see much when you're much younger, but as you get much older, then you realize the importance of that time. Not knowing your life purpose also costs you lost opportunity. Well, think about it. You don't know if the direction you're headed is the right direction because you don't know what your life purpose is at all. Well, for me, I know my life purpose, or like my life mission, which is to educate, to inspire, and to empower young people to live a life that is truly fulfilling and happy, also with financial freedom. That's why I do these videos, because I know that it's according to my life purpose. And with that in mind, if there's anything that sways me from that direction, I would just say no. I would totally avoid it. So having this life purpose or life mission, that passion that you know what you're doing, it gives you that clarity to follow on that path, or just ignore those non-useful opportunities, if you get what I mean. Not knowing your life purpose or passion will also cause you to live a life of regret. And when you look back in your life when you're much older, your life will be filled with, if only I did this, if only I was much more hardworking, if only I tried this instead of being so fearful. So many if onlys, and that is the worst kind of feeling that you want to feel. I don't want you to ever have to go through that, because you'll be living a life full of regrets. So that's why I'm here to help you. And if you're learning anything so far, it's gonna get really interesting, and I want you to put aside all distractions, put away your mobile phone, close all the other tabs on your browsers, and really focus on this for the next few minutes, because I'm going to share with you actionable strategies on how you can discover your life purpose by going through a couple of exercises that will be really interesting for you and very important for you. Well, number one, you need to start with having an awareness that you need to step out of that misery, and you need to want it. Nobody else can force you. For me, I was in my 9-to-5 software engineering job that I mentioned, and I was happy being where I was. I was playing board games after office. I was just living my life as it is. And one day I attended the National Achievers Congress, and that actually changed my life. It was then that I realized that I had the power to change my own life. It is not my friends, not my parents, me. I control my own life. Tony Robbins always says it is that decision that you make, not your conditions, that changes or determines your destiny. Number two, you need to discover yourself. Take time to really dig deep and search within yourself. If you want to be that 1%, you gotta do what 99% are not willing to do. Now, I'm not asking you to go lock yourself up in your room and just meditate on it. But what I'm asking you is to take an hour out of your day, your busy schedule, just to work on yourself. And I'm going to share with you a few exercises that you can do. So let's jump right into my computer and I'll show you what I actually mean. Hey guys, so we just jump right into my computer where I have the purpose-filled worksheet in front of you. And as you can see, this is a worksheet that I've created to guide you through the exercises that I've shared and prepared for you. And I'm gonna put the link in the description down below so that you have access to it as well. And you don't need to put in any email addresses whatsoever. You just need to do it. All right, very important. You need to be a master at implementing. And I'm gonna share with you first of all this concept of ikigai, which is a Japanese concept meaning a reason for being. It consists of 4 quadrants: what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Well, today I'm going to share with you just about the area of passion, a quadrant between what you love and what you're good at. So the passion, which is right here. So we're going to go through a few exercises. The first one is this quadrant, which shows you the first one, which is what you love and what you're good at. This is your passion. So I want you to list down everything that you have and be honest with yourself about what are some of the things that you actually love doing and are good at. For example, it can be, reading, it can be sharing, talking on the computer, over the computer, it can be playing games, whatever it is. Just write down what you love and what you're good at. Okay, the second quadrant, write down what you don't love but you're still good at it, and these are things that pays you the bill. It's usually in your job that you're doing that you actually are just okay or good at doing, but you don't actually like doing it. For example, you may not love maths, so you may be good at it but you don't actually love it. All right, so if you're an accountant, you will actually struggle because you are good at it but you don't have that passion because you just use it to pay the bills. You get what I mean? I hope that makes sense to you. The next quadrant is what you love but you're not really good at. It's different from the previous ones because this shows you your true potential. You actually love doing it, but at this point in time your skill level is not at that peak or not at that level that you wish to you desire to have. So what does this mean? It means that you have that potential to grow that skill. For example, for me, it will be speaking on camera. I am a good speaker on stage, but on camera, I still have not yet mastered the art, and it will be right here. It's a potential that I want to grow myself. Also, I want to grow on my entrepreneurship and my business, knowing how to consult people. So these kind of little things I will put down, and usually what you love but you're not good at will be a huge long list. So the next one, the fourth and final quadrant, will be about what you don't love and what you're not good at. It is usually your daily task. Sometimes you may be good at it but you actually don't really love it. So for example, it can be walking the dog. And for those of you who actually love walking the dog, it should not be in this quadrant. It should be in probably, this quadrant or this quadrant. Yeah, but what you don't love and what you're not good at, just list it down. All right. So I want you to fill up this quadrant because it's going to be a guiding point for you throughout the next exercises that we do. Next, very important, questions. I want you to take this very seriously and write down from the bottom of your heart what you truly think, all right, about how to go about answering this question. Let me share with you. So for example, when I was a kid, I dreamed of what? I dreamed of being an astronaut. I dreamed of being a policeman. Whatever it is, just write it down and be open and honest with yourself. Number 2, if I was absent from work for a week, I'd spend the time what? The third question, most people don't know this about me, but I really enjoy or I get really excited about. Fourth, I am the go-to person when my friends need help with. Number 5, if I were to write a book, it would be about. Number 6, one thing that I find really easy to do but other people find it really challenging is. Number 7, I feel really proud and accomplished when I am doing blank. Number 8, last but not least, I wouldn't mind doing dash for a really long time and also get paid doing it. So these questions are very important for you to answer because it really dives deep into your actual passion. So sometimes you may take slightly longer to think about the answers, but really spend some time thinking truly and thoroughly about it and just write it down. For example, questions like this, number 4, it shows you your strength. All right, when people ask you for help for something, it means that you are actually good at it. So try to recall. It will require you to dig into your memory and try to understand yourself a little bit more. One thing that I find really easy to do but other people find really challenging is also another of your strength. Identify what are some things that you find there is no issue at all. For example, you can take maths, for example. For you, it can be really easy, but really other people are actually struggling doing it, and you don't have any problems teaching them about how to solve problems. So this is something that, it can be a strength. Even organizing an event can be a strength. For you, you're a really very detailed person, but other people, they will require some help from you for it. All right, so just identifying some of your strengths. Next, life scenarios. Now this will be a little painful, a little weird, but I want you to go through this and really also answer these questions honestly. Okay, so the first one, scenario 1, you have only 1 month to live. What would you do? So in this question, you're about to die and there's no escaping. What will you spend that month doing? And will you quit your job and travel? What will you do during this 1 month that you have left? And when you answer this question, it really allows you to go wild, be imaginative, but also really identify what is important to you. Are you going to spend the time playing computer games during your last 1 month? Or are you actually spending time with your loved ones? Whatever it is, only you know the answer, and you don't have to write what other people tell you to do or what you think is right. Just write what you feel. Scenario number 2. This is going to be a little dark because it requires you to write your obituary. And always, we never start with the end in mind. So that is one of the things that most people get wrong. You need to know what legacy that you want to live. So questions like, what kind of person were you? How did you live? Who mattered most to you? How will you be remembered? And what will your friends say about you? Will they say that, hey, you're this useless guy who didn't know what you wanted to do, and you didn't pay attention to the words that you were using, you're always very angry, you had no discipline, and you couldn't be trusted? What is it that you want them to write about you? This question will guide you to live the life that you actually want to be remembered for. So very important. Get this down pat. Imagine yourself being reading this obituary and giving it to yourself who is in the coffin. All right. So number 3, scenario 3, if money was no object, if money was not an objection or was not an issue, how would you live your life differently? So a lot of us, we are always tied down to what money can provide. We do this job because we need to get paid. But if really money wasn't any objection, money was of no issue, what would you be doing with your life? Will you just be spending it playing mahjong with your friends, or will you be going shopping every day? What will you be doing? And this question also relates to getting yourself to understand how humans, or how you make your own decisions. It relates to the 6 human needs, which are the fundamental human needs as discovered by Tony Robbins, that each person needs to have a certain level of certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. And you will never be truly satisfied if you don't have the last 2, which is growth and also contribution. If you don't contribute to society and you don't grow yourself. And this is something that I want to cover, but I won't be covering it in this episode. I'll just put it in the link somewhere. When I do the episode, you will get the link over there. All right, so identifying those 6 human needs, when you identify them, you'll be able to know why you make the decisions that you do. Okay, so let's move on. The next one will be about identifying what is important to you. rank these truthfully from 1 to 18 and with no ties. So you don't want to link them together, so just separate them and do it independently. So it can be family, friends, health and fitness. Just rank them all from 1 to 18. Then using this, you would then identify what is it that is important to you actually. Is it your friends? Is it money? Whatever it is, just answer it truthfully. Next, understanding your personality. These two questions are important for you to understand how you are like as a person, and they will allow you to discover or do jobs or work that is required, that is best fits your personality, if it makes sense. So the first one will be, do you believe you're more outgoing or more reserved? Second one question will be, are you more task oriented or a people person? So once you identify these, you will know that what kind of person will you be. And for us, we have created, in Thriving Times, we have created this personality assessment called the Thriving Warrior, which I will share with you in detail in another video, which I will link it somewhere here. I have not done it yet, but I will share with you once I've done it. All right, so if you see it in the link, then you will know that, you know, this is the video that I'm talking about. Next, let's quickly move on. What are your values? Choose the top 5 that stand out to you or that pop out to you. So there are a huge long list of values right here. So I want you to look through the list, and whichever you feel in your gut that stands out to you, you will have that connection. Just write it down, and you will find out that these are the values that are most important for you. Why is finding your values important to you? It will help you identify what kind of work that you want to do and whether is it according to these values or not. For example, if honesty is one of your main values and you treasure people being honest with you, you wouldn't want to work with someone who lies and who is not truthful when it comes to dealing with money, for example. So you will immediately know that you should cut ties, because it's not what you stand for, if you get what I mean. And if you're working in a business that has that, you know, untruthful dealings, you will not feel comfortable. So that's where you have that guide that you need to get out from it as soon as possible, because it's not aligned with your values. Does that make sense? Yeah. So once you have done all these exercises, which may take a while, I know, it's time then to do a review, summary of the commonalities in your answer to create a summary. So what is in the end most important to me? What are the 3 values out of the 5 that are important to you, and how do you get to that? I want you to be specific. How do you get to those values? What can you do in order for you to go and reach to that goal? And what do I need to do to feel fulfilled? Just write down, be specific as possible. And once you complete all these exercises in the purpose-filled worksheet, you will have more clarity on what your purpose is for life. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you, because I know it took slightly longer than expected, but it's because I wanted to give as much value as I could. And if you like videos like this, give me a huge thumbs up, and also like and subscribe to my channel, clicking on that notification bell button on the top so that you don't miss out on videos like this. And it will really help me knowing that you are supporting me on this to do more videos and content like this for you. And I hope that this is able to help you live your life that you are truly fulfilled and happy, because that is what my mission stands for, and I want you to be able to find out what your passion truly is. Alright, so with that, I am really excited for you to find that out. Julian here, signing off. See you on the next episode. The best way to navigate through this tough conversation. Okay, the first I stands for initiate. Say that there is this person that always comes late,